Hello, welcome. Yo, okay. Let me start off with saying thank you, right? Thank you. As of this recording, right? I'm recording this like Wednesday night. As of this recording, my video from about the NBA expanding, which is a video that I just made because it was just a little opinion rant video, has over 400 views. The fact that I was gone for a couple months, I come back, I drop a video, and it made 400 is incredible to me. Like, I truly do appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. All those amazing comments you guys left, like, that truly means so much to me. Like, you guys have no idea. I know I sound like a white girl saying like, but in reality, I am extremely just at a loss of words, and I'm extremely thankful that you guys were able to, make me feel welcome back. But be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the button to be notified for every time I upload. Now that we got all that out the way, and the thank yous, there's a specific team in the NBA that really caught my attention, right? Really caught my attention. And it's the Utah Jazz, right? I mean, who cares about the Utah Jazz? No one has cared about the Utah Jazz for the last, I don't know how many years. Maybe since Donovan Mitchell's rookie season when they finally made the playoffs again. But since then, nobody cares about the Jazz except for Utah Jazz fans themselves. And is that a knock on the Jazz? No, it's the same situation as any other team with low ass expectations where it's like, hey, yeah, you guys won games, but we all think you suck and you're a bunch of frauds. That's exactly what the Utah Jazz have been last year and the year before, where they had Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, all these players that we expected them to be great, right? We expected them to play as a number one seed in the playoffs, but as we saw, they lost to they did lose to the Nuggets one year. I forgot what year, blowing a 3-1 lead. They lost to the Clippers. Was that Clippers team injured? I do not remember. And they lost to another team, which I can't remember off the top of my head. But this season is totally different. For some reason, one of the worst projected teams in the NBA is actually, as of this recording, a 6-2 team with wins over teams like the Pelicans. That's a good one. Okay, the Jazz have beaten, as of recent, the Grizzlies twice. They beat the Grizzlies 2 times. They lost to the Nuggets. They beat the Rockets. They lost to the Rockets, I might add that. They beat the Pelicans. They beat the Timberwolves. And they beat the Nuggets, right? Yeah, that's it. This is a huge deal for a team like the Jazz, which we all expected to be garbage. Like, you look at every preseason standing, everybody was like, oh, the Utah Jazz or the Spurs are getting Victor Wembanyama. I can't say that name still. Maybe I will one day. I can say Giannis Antetokounmpo perfectly. Maybe I'll say Victor one day. But listen, the Utah Jazz were like a dumpster fire, and they were like a team that no one really cared for or expected to make it anywhere. But somehow, some way, they've changed that and flipped that whole thing all around. How? The answer's simple, right? A lot of people overlook this team's shot creation and this team's shot makers, right? The NBA is a make-or-miss league. We all know that. We've all heard TNT, oh, the NBA is a make-or-miss. Yes, we get it. But no one actually truly pays attention to that. What do I mean by that? So the Utah Jazz is a team comprised of, right? Listen to this. Remember, the Utah Jazz, they traded Rudy Gobert, they traded Donovan Mitchell for picks and a bunch of young talent, right? Given a lot of these young, talented teams, such as the Magic, Pistons, Rockets, don't look good, right? They look good respectively. Like, our teams, they look good future-wise, but right now, they suck, right? The Rockets and the Magic were both 1-7. The Pistons have only won 2 games. We're not good teams in terms of winning games in the NBA. We're not. That's just simply how it is. But for some reason, the Jazz are actually a solid team. And the Jazz are comprised of a team with Lauri Markkanen, Colin Sexton, Malik Beasley, Mike Conley, Talen Horton-Tucker, the guy that everyone forgot about. They got Rudy Gay. They got Kelly Olynyk. They got Jared Vanderbilt. I think that's his first name. I'm not sure. Jay Vanderbilt, just in case anyone gets triggered. But they have all of these guys, and you look at it, and a lot of these guys, they're pretty young. But you know what's the one thing I see every time I look at this roster? It surprises me, but at the same time, it doesn't. So what happens when you have such a young and hungry team with a brand new head coach? Because, yeah, they got a brand new head coach. What happens? A lot of these teams come out on fire. Like, a lot of these teams come out motivated. They come out ready to start the season, and these teams are often getting overlooked. For example, the Grizzlies play them back-to-back and lose back-to-back. The Grizzlies are comprised of almost the same formula as the Utah Jazz currently have, and they still lose to the Jazz because they're overlooked. So a team like the Jazz, it's not like this thing where, oh, look, the Jazz are good now, but we all know they're going to be bad because they're just a bunch of young guys. No. This team, what separates this team is they have veterans in the right places, and they have proven talent in their team. And they have young guys going above their expectations, such as Lauri Markkanen. Remember, Lauri Markkanen was hated? Well, no. Lauri Markkanen was loved by Chicago Bulls fans, but then he was later pushed away because he couldn't stay healthy, his defense was bad, and ultimately he just couldn't hit shots, which is why he's in the NBA, right? It's not like the Bulls were a horrible franchise. No, it just didn't work out, and that's totally normal. That happens. It's normal in the NBA for things not to work out, right? He gets to Cleveland, his shooting improves, his shot making improves, but he's still playing under what we expect. This season, since the trade to the Utah Jazz, Lauri Markkanen is averaging 22 points, 9 rebounds, right? And 1 block a game. He's looked totally different this year as what we're used to. I don't know if it's confidence, which I believe it is, but I honestly think it's the Utah Jazz system using him totally differently. And now you look at another guy that's been completely overlooked. I don't know why. I've always loved Collin Sexton, okay? Collin Sexton is just one of those young bull. That's his nickname. The young bull. But for some reason, everybody overlooks him. Do you guys remember when this man destroyed KD, Kyrie? I don't know if all three of them were playing. Those dudes were injured all the time. He single-handedly destroyed the Brooklyn Nets, dropped 40-plus on them. And for some reason, he isn't talked about. He was one of the reasons as to why the Cleveland Cavaliers were able to be in the position that they are now. Well, last year. He's one of the reasons why that team was so good so early, because Collin Sexton, Darius Garland, Sexland was such a great duo. But now all of a sudden he gets injured. Darius Garland becomes an all-star. Total credits to Darius Garland. Extremely impressive. And now all of a sudden everybody forgets about who Collin Sexton is. Collin Sexton, oh, this, that. No, nobody wants him anymore, right? And essentially during free agency, we saw a lot of nobody wants him. But then sign and trade happens to Utah. They give him that contract is big. It's a big contract. They give him a big contract, and now he's sort of in this position in Utah where it's new franchise, new everything. Just get buckets, play your game. And honestly, Collin Sexton, he's only averaging 20 minutes a game, 12 points, but what are his shooting splits? I don't know what his shooting splits are, but as you can see, Collin Sexton is someone who can truly contribute to this Utah Jazz team. Another guy that is always overlooked is Jordan Clarkson, Sixth Man of the Year. Jordan Clarkson, the shot creator, the shot maker himself. Why was he so successful as a sixth man on the Utah Jazz system? Because that man was able to get buckets whenever he wanted, and that man was able to get buckets and get buckets and get buckets. Which, if you look at the NBA today, right? If you look at the NBA and you ask yourself, what is successful in the NBA? There's only one answer, right? Yeah, defense can help you win championships, right? But we all know, at the end of the day, better offense beats good defense, right? There's never going to be better defense than better offense, because at the end of the day, better offense will always be far superior than better defense, right? But you look at Jordan Clarkson and you see that this man is literally a bucket. He is one of the premier NBA types that you want. He's sort of like a Jamal Crawford type of player, and he's someone who, out of the gate, he's just been phenomenal for the Utah Jazz, and he's literally one of the reasons why this team has been so great. So overall, the Utah Jazz, did they get worse in terms of talent? Yes. Whenever you lose 2 All-Stars, whenever you lose a Defensive Player of the Year, whenever you lose... Oh, wait, did I also forget to mention the Utah Jazz are one of the top defensive teams in the NBA, which is wild to think about. Let me make sure you guys see this. Let me make sure. Yes, look, focus. The Utah Jazz right there. As you can see, the Utah Jazz have been one of the top defenses as well in the NBA, which is kind of mind-numbing because this team, yeah, they've been known for defense, but we didn't think that with the players they have now, they could play defense. You're telling me Lauri Markkanen. You're telling me Jordan Clarkson. You're telling me Malik Beasley and old Mike Conley are able to be one of the top defensive teams in the NBA. That's insane. That is insane. But overall, the Utah Jazz, I think they're going to have a great season. But here's the thing with the Jazz. I honestly believe they're going to do great to start off the season. And then little by little, teams will start to figure them out. But at the end of the day, they have so much shot creating, so much facilitating. And just Mike Conley alone and Malik Beasley playing, he's also a slept-on shooting guard. They have so many guys that can just put the ball in, so many guys who can facilitate, and I guess guys that can play defense now, that they'll just be a great team in the NBA. Maybe not one of the top-tier level teams, but I can easily see this team going above our expectations and maybe going right above a play-in game or maybe going right into the play-in. They're not going to be one of the worst teams like we expected. They have too many young guys. They have too much talent on their roster, too much to prove for them to fall into that atmosphere. So, with all that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for the love. Like, you guys have no clue how much that truly means to me. And again, thank you. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified for every single time I upload. Drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Your opinions are all amazing. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Peace out.